Good morning. Welcome to Village in Motion. Today is Wednesday, May 1st, 2019. Happy May Day. And this morning it's time to have our monthly dining services call-in show.
Welcome.
With Chef Michael Ritt. And we're unfortunately missing this morning our dietitian, Mary Smith.
She's got prior obligations. So
but she'll be back next month.
She will.
Yeah.
And she says hello to everybody, and she's sorry she couldn't attend.
Yeah, she was really upset.
Yeah, she was. She's like, "Are you going to be all right on your own?" I think I can wing it.
I
think I can do it.
So what's going on?
Well, let's talk about the elephant in the room.
Okay.
The big thing is that we finally got all of our inspections and permitting for CB1 Fireside Kitchen.
And we're ready to roll.
We've gotten okay to go back into operations, and I know that Jason talked about it at the meeting on Monday, and again, for everybody to understand that it's been 6 months, 7 months since we really had full operations in this kitchen. Really, you can go longer than that because
I was going to say it's been
probably a year and a half.
Right.
If you really want to go back, a year and a half since we've had total 100% operations in this kitchen. So there's a process. It's not turnkey like, oh great, got the kitchen back, let's go, boom. No, it's not going to work like that. We have to move some equipment still. We still have to fill up the coolers because we
have to get all the stuff out of the cooler in the parking lot upstairs.
In the parking lot upstairs. We got to bring some equipment in. We have to get the staff's got to get acclimated. They've been working in Jefferson for so long, and now it's coming back. It's like riding a bike, but you want to take this as a process.
Yes.
Okay, and the reason is you want to cross your T's, dot your I's. You want to make sure that everything is going fine. And you want to make sure that you don't want to have any hiccups. We're going to do a test of all the equipment now that we can go in there and turn it on. Another thing is we want to do a test before we go live.
Sure.
And we're going to bring in our equipment guy, and we're going to do
in
every
case
piece
someone needs some explanation about how to work something.
That, and also a lot of this equipment's just been sitting there. We haven't turned it on because we haven't had the ability to. So we want to turn on everything, make sure everything's working 100%. And if there needs to be some minor adjustments, we can do that before we go live. So there's a lot of things, that have to happen. I know residents are chomping at the bit and all that, and I know
it's a beautiful kitchen.
A lot of residents came through for the tour.
How many people came for the tour?
Every group that I saw had about 15 to 20 people, and I knew they were doing tour after tour.
Yeah,
probably.
It's very interesting.
I would say 80 people, if not more.
So I have one piece of equipment I have to ask you about because I didn't understand it, and I kind of got in at a midpoint of a tour. It's a big metal something like this, and they said they'll use that to make chicken salad and egg salad.
It's called a buffalo chopper.
A buffalo chopper.
You're talking about like a round bowl?
Yeah, it was.
Cylinder bowl that sits and it's on a conveyor. And if you want to take whole pieces of whatever, basically it has a blade. You close the top and there's a blade that goes vertical. The bowl's going horizontal and the blade's going vertical, and it's going at, I don't know how many RPMs. But it chops up everything so you can make a nice chicken salad, and it's consistency. And think about it, production-wise.
What a time saver.
You can have someone sitting there all day to chop chicken, or I can put this in there and in 10 minutes, my chicken, my ham, whatever I want to put in there.
So you can put, it not only chops it, but mixes it?
It will chop it up, and then you can take the chicken and mix it up. You can put anything you want to put in there. We got a lot of tabletop equipment. We've got new slicers, new RoboCous, which are food processors. We divided the kitchen, and those who didn't go on the tour, the one issue was always that when you prepared for the cafe, you had to come over to where the fireside cooked.
Right.
So when we were designing the kitchen, Chef Mark and Corey, it was a team effort. I'll tell you that everybody, I always say, I love to fly on planes, but I won't design them.
There you go.
So we got the operators involved. What's going to make your kitchen run more efficient, safer,
right? That's the most important
and user friendly. So we divided the kitchen literally in half. We moved the fryer over. We bought a new stovetop, a 6-burner. We separated the oven. So literally, fireside has their area, cafe side has their area. No one's crossing paths. Less movement.
That'll be a lot better.
People can work in place. It's and another thing. And I know Corey and Mark talked a lot about the kitchen, but people say, wow, look at all this new stuff you bought. Well, understand that the new lighting, the LED lighting.
Which is wonderful.
It's brighter.
Yes.
Easier to see, and it's cost effective. It uses less electricity than the old fluorescent bulbs. So, and that's a win for the residents.
Sure.
the gas equipment uses less. When we say BTUs, which is a measurement of gas,
right,
it uses less gas to produce the same amount of heat energy. You and I were talking. I said it's like buying a car. If you bought a Toyota Camry in 2010 or today, which one's going to be more gas efficient? Which one's going to have more technology, user friendly?
Obviously today's.
Correct. So, and we're looking at other pieces of equipment to put in there. So
we have a phone call.
Okay.
Caller, can we have your question, please?
Yes. Does that chopper bowl that you were talking about have the ability to make various sizes of chopped things? Can you do chunks and the very small chopped salad, chicken salad we had the other day?
So with the buffalo chopper, depending on how much you pass through, you can control it. But if you want to get diced or sliced, you would use the RoboCoo, which has an attachment, which has a dicer attachment.
A different piece of equipment.
Or our Hobart mixer. You can put attachments on there that have blades that you can do different if you want to do shredding or dicing. So we have equipment in there for that. Buffalo chopper is more depending on how many revolutions you do, how fine you want that chop.
Oh, okay.
You know,
so if, it keeps,
if you pass it through 2 or 3 times,
it's going to be chopped up every time.
You have a rough chop, but if you keep it going, it'll chop it up finer.
Okay.
But we have other pieces of equipment. So we're very excited about that. We have a lot of things going on. Obviously, tomorrow we have the town hall in
Woodland Skies. So Woodland Skies people, if you have questions and concerns about Woodland Skies, come on down at 10 o'clock in the morning to the Woodland Skies dining room.
May 5th is Cinco de Mayo, so we'll have specials on there. There'll be like one special to celebrate Cinco de Mayo that the kitchens will be, the restaurants will be providing.
That'll be good.
The movie on the green we are doing on Tuesday, May 7th.
I don't know if it's Tuesday or Wednesday, but it's May 7th.
It's May 7th.
Yeah.
I think that would be a Tuesday, yes.
Okay.
So we're showing Ocean's 8. I think you did a little thing about Ocean's 8.
The doors open at 7 o'clock.
Correct.
But the movie doesn't start until 8.
Correct.
So between 7 and 8, you can show up anytime in there, and you can take part in the food that's going to be served.
Yeah, and I wanted to say that we're going to have a new piece of equipment out there.
Okay.
For all of you who've been walking into Village Square and you notice that beautiful smell of smoking or barbecuing, we've purchased a new outdoor barbecue grill that can smoke. And for all of you who've been dining at Woodland Skies, you've had the smoked brisket. Well, we've been preparing that on premise. Troy and Giovanni and the team have been using that smoker. You go out there in the morning and you see the smoke coming out, and you'll see them out there working it. And we're smoking the brisket right here.
That's good.
And that goes to just what the detail that we take when we do, oh, you guys just opened something. No way.
No.
I mean, even ask how many Erickson's communities are smoking their own brisket.
Yeah.
So we're smoking on premises. We're going to bring that grill over to Movie on the Green.
I could see it being rolled up the hill.
Well, it's not rolled up the hill. We have to hook it up to a truck. It's a trailer that's got actual 3 separate grills on it. So we could do 3 things. We could be smoking in one. Oh, this is a serious piece of equipment.
So we're going to have some good food at Movie on the Green.
Absolutely.
And you always have good food at those.
Thank
There's
you.
usually ice cream and
we're going to,
beverages,
and
adult
theater
beverages.
stuff, adult beverages,
Yes.
and non-adult beverages.
There you go.
And we'll do some barbecuing, and I'm sure we'll have movie fare, candies and popcorn and nachos and stuff like that.
Right.
So
junk food.
Yeah, I tell residents it's a great, if the weather stays the way it is, it's a fabulous event.
Night,
it's nice. We're gonna.
And if it rains, then you'll move it inside.
Correct. We always have a rain. We always have Plan B.
Yeah.
And that'll be the conference center.
Yeah.
It won't change the food.
There you go.
So,
that's the most important part.
Correct. Or the movie.
But let's talk about what the movie is.
Go ahead.
The movie is Ocean's 8, which I had never heard of. And it's a 2018 American heist comedy directed by people we've never heard of. It's a continuation and a spin-off from Steven Soderbergh's Ocean's trilogy. I suppose it's talking about Ocean's 11. So this is Ocean's 8. It's kind of like Ocean's 11 if you saw that, only girls. It's women who are carrying off this heist. It has Sandra Bullock, Kate Blanchett, Anne Hathaway, Mindy Kaling, Sarah Paulson, Rihanna, and other people that I've never heard of. Maybe others have. But it has if you look at the cast list, there must be 100 people on the cast list because it takes place at the Met Gala.
In New York City. In
New York City, which is a huge costume kind of event. So you're going to see all kinds of other stars within this. It's really supposedly a really great movie. So it'll be fun. It's not scary. It's not serious. It's a fun night.
And let me, where can you go to a movie around here and have outdoor grilling while you're enjoying a movie?
And just for the cost of your flex meal.
That's it.
That's it.
Come have your dinner and watch a movie.
Right.
And it's not going to cost you any more than if you had dinner inside.
That's right. You get a little fresh air and it'll be fun.
And you can call Phyllis at her extension.
Yes, you do want to know how many people are coming.
Correct.
So and call Phyllis.
And I'm sure if someone walked up that night, we won't turn you away.
Okay. Throw another burger on the Barbie.
Right. So throw another shrimp on the Barbie.
There you go. Yeah, whatever it is, something on the Barbie.
So coming up, obviously, next Friday, May 10th.
Okay.
We have Resident Appreciation Day, and this is something that we appreciate the residents' calm and understanding. We have a lot going on. With Fireside and the moving of back and forth and all the construction going on. So this is more of like a thank you from dining.
For your patience.
We're going to do modified signature dining will be suspended. We'll do modified menus. We're finalizing those menus. As always, we'll have the communication out, Channel 6.
So this is in all dining rooms?
All dining rooms. We'll have modified menus. We're looking at some fan favorites, as we call them, to put on there. And it's just our way of saying thank you for understanding.
That's
we
good.
Understand.
This is the one that was postponed because the first one was during Lent.
Correct.
Okay.
And we understand, the hardship. We understand that, residents. The dining rooms weren't run as normal operations, and we just want to say thank you for being understanding.
Yeah, that's good. That'll be a fun night also.
Yeah.
So that's the 10th.
Correct. And then. That weekend, the 11th and the 12th.
Mother's Day weekend.
Mother's Day weekend, we're going to be selling roses by the dozen in the stores while supplies last.
You don't have to reserve them. Just go into the stores Saturday and Sunday.
And while supplies last. Just something special we do.
And they'll be sold by the dozen.
Yes.
Yes.
And then on the 12th, obviously, we'll have Mother's Day menus.
Okay.
And understand that there's modified hours, and they'll be posted Channel 6, bulletin boards, host stands.
Now, is this the usual menu? Modified hours?
Correct.
Because we want all of our workers to go home and celebrate with their mothers.
Absolutely, and same like Memorial Day.
Right.
We'll have a modified menu. We'll do modified hours, and that's just, a lot of times the reason we do that is exactly what you said. We want, the big thing here is quality of life, and that's what we want our staff to have.
We want them to stay.
We want them to stay. We also want them to have a quality of life, better quality of life, better at work, they'll enjoy work more. So we always want to give them the opportunity, for those who are working to have time with their families.
And speaking of that group of people, let's talk for a second about the scholars.
I'm a huge fan. I don't work directly with the students, but I see them all day long and talk to them, and what a wonderful program. We have a great, fantastic group of young adults.
Yes,
I won't
and
say
they
kids.
Are young adults. They are
young
young
adults.
adults.
My older ones used to say, I'm a young adult now. I said, okay, whatever. But no, we have a great group of young adults, and this is a fantastic program. It gives them the opportunity to get a great education, better themselves.
I asked Kimberly last year what percentage of these students actually finish their training that we're helping to pay for, and she said about 90%. And that's terrific.
That's fantastic. You look at graduation rates at some universities, don't even come close to that. So
we have some really smart kids. There's one of our kids, and I'm not one of our kids, one of our young adults, and I don't know his name, but I heard that he was on It's Academic for Lake Braddock High School. So here's a student who is going to school, he's working, and he's studying to be on It's Academic.
Correct. And I think majority of the residents, I'd say probably almost all of them, have a really soft spot for these students.
Sure.
A lot of them come here 9th grade, 10th grade, and work through.
And we watch them grow up.
It's like watching your own children grow up and go on to college. So, we always talk about the scholarship fund and help out with the scholarship fund.
And we invite you, if you haven't been able to donate yet for the scholarship fund this year, please do consider it. It's tax deductible, and these students appreciate it more than you know. The last I heard, we have 39 students who are eligible this year, and we only had gathered up enough money for 10 or 11 of them. So we need some more funds in that scholarship fund so we can send these kids off for 4 years of good education and help them with that. So the 15th is an important day. My favorite day of the year.
That.
No. The 15th is National Chocolate Chip Day.
So be on the lookout in the lobbies, and it'll be in all the lobbies for something that
you could just put chocolate chips in a bowl, and
I
could just take it with a handful.
Just a bowl of chocolate chips out there. I don't think anybody would complain.
No.
But we'll see what the chefs come up with.
Good.
And it's I think these lobby treats, and we've been doing them for about a couple years. I think the residents really enjoy them.
Sure.
It's just another thank you. It's our way of saying thank you to the residents, and we appreciate you, and just something extra to offer. So
it'll be a fun day.
Yeah, I think that's I think the residents get a kick out of it.
Yeah.
Memorial Day, again, we talked about Memorial Day on the 27th.
Okay.
Again, modified menus, modified hours of operations. So
watch your printed
the
menus.
one thing,
it's always
Channel
announced
6.
there.
They'll be on the Ericsson app. They'll be on our resident menu, bulletin boards, host stands. And if you ever have a question, ask any of the dining team.
Sure.
We're always around.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff going on. We're going to have coming later in the month. We're going to have 2 new additions to our team.
Who's
As
that?
everybody knows, Phyllis is retiring.
Yes.
At the end of this month. So we're going to bring back
if you've worked with Phyllis over the years, and practically everyone has, at least stop into the dining services office and say happy retirement to her.
And a familiar face is coming back to dining, and that's going to be Nahid.
Nahid, who is now our communications director,
will be coming in as the dining administrative assistant.
Wonderful.
And Nahid, for all those who've been here long enough, Nahid used to work in dining. She was AGM, she ran the stores, she worked with Phyllis when I first got here as her assistant. So Nahid has a great understanding of dining.
That's good.
We all know her, so that's a great fit. And then starting next Monday, and I'm going to probably butcher her last name, but Michelle Poussaint, who currently works at Ashby Ponds as an assistant general manager, will be the new general manager in Woodland Skies.
Wonderful.
And Troy Jordan will be transferring up to the Jefferson.
Okay.
And that's, for all of you, Troy's wheelhouse from higher education is working these large buffets, these large restaurants. He's going to be
in his element.
Well, he's doing a fantastic job now.
Sure.
And he'll just continue that fantastic job. They got a good team up there. So, and Michelle used to work here. For residents who've been here for a while, she was a service coach when we had that position here.
Good.
And a host. I think she worked down here in Woodland Skies a little bit.
She'll be a good addition.
So she's a familiar face, and she's coming back to Green Spring.
Good.
Because we're the best dining team around.
Of course, I'm glad she's coming home.
Yeah, so those 2 new additions are welcome.
Let's remind our viewers, I know it's been on the screen the entire time, this is a call-in show. If you have questions for Chef Michael, this is your chance.
I get all the questions when I leave.
703-663-3333.
So a lot going on.
A lot going on. Exciting stuff.
Yeah, and we're all excited about Fireside. And
we want to make sure that people understand that it's not open the kitchen door and
it's not
start
turnkey.
Something.
It's never turnkey. There's a lot of steps involved.
And with the new kitchen opening soon, the cafe is going to be closing.
We don't have a date for that.
We don't know yet.
But understand that's part of repositioning.
Right.
The kitchen was more of an internal Green Spring project.
Right.
Where the cafe is part of the building repositioning. And that's a larger project. And then the cafe will be closed down for a few months. But Corey and Mark and the team over there, and
they've got it worked out.
Yeah, this happened about 7 or 8 years ago. So
and everyone lived through it, and I haven't,
you're not going to starve.
I haven't heard anybody say, "Oh, well, last time we did that, it was really a problem."
No, you're not going to starve, and they already have a plan in place. We've already talked to the powers that be, and we've already made some communication with some of the subcontractors to make sure everything's in place. And
good.
I think Corey and Chef Mark have a great plan for service, and once we have a hard date, we always say a hard date, more communication will be coming out.
And for those who are saying, well, why do we need to do this? If you just go into the cafe and look around, the carpet has done well. Some of the cabinets, the doors are falling off. It's just time.
We're upgrading the equipment.
Good.
The footprint's going to be a lot more user-friendly.
Good.
We're going to expand some of the stations. We're going to have the ability to do variety. And that's the big, whenever we do these things, there's a lot of things you take into consideration. The big ones are obviously safety, user-friendly. And when I say user-friendly, for both staff and residents.
Right.
That's accommodating to the residents.
Right.
And that there's an ability to offer variety. Those four things and everything, everything else, you all deserve, the best top of the line.
Well, thank you. We appreciate it.
We want to make sure that, and a lot of, time and efforts put into these designs and scoping out the project and sourcing out the equipment and making sure that everything we put in there has been, crossed, like I said,
what will help us do the job.
Yeah, and I think we're all excited.
Sure.
We're excited about this new kitchen we got.
As a chef, how many positions have you ever had where you had these neat challenges to be able to redesign?
I think it's the one thing which is great here is that we've actually gotten to put our hand into the design and sourcing the equipment, and having input.
If you were in a restaurant, you might not be able to do that.
I've worked for a lot of corporate restaurants, and it's not as much as cookie cutter, but they already have everything sourced out. Mm-hmm. It's pretty much, they have their own construction companies and everything. They come in, boom, here it goes, go have at it.
Yeah.
You have no say on the equipment. They've already sourced all that, and it's all done.
Just learn to live with it. Mm-hmm.
Correct. So at least with this, especially in CB1, and as we move forward with Garden Ridge, with Woodland Skies, with Jefferson, we're going to get the chefs involved. We're going to get the managers involved. Mm-hmm. We're going to get admin involved. What do you need? I always tell them, we're going into Garden Ridge, and Chef Suzanne and I were talking. I'm like, what do you want? Don't worry about. Better to ask for it and been told no mm-hmm. than to never ask for it in the first place.
Yeah.
What do you need? You're king or queen for the day.
And that's really a neat opportunity to have somebody ask you that. What will make your job easier?
What do you want? What's going to make it easier on you?
Yeah.
And I think the big thing is you get the buy-in. I want you to think like an operator. Mm-hmm. This is your operation. I don't want someone to say, all right, boom, there's your stuff. Have at it. What do you want?
I'm going to be interested to hear the reactions of the people in the kitchen after working on the new floor in that kitchen. I have a feeling it's going to be much more comfortable.
And we have those new floors in all our dish rooms, so we have experience with that. And they've been using it a little bit in CB1 now, so they're happy with it.
Good.
It's a safer floor, and it's cleaning-wise, it's easier, and it's safety.
And it has
sanitation.
a little give.
Well, a little bit. But what they did was when they poured it, it comes up on the wall.
Okay.
About 6 inches. So when you think about it, almost like a bathtub.
Yeah.
You don't have corners.
Yeah.
If you look in the kitchen, there's not corners.
That's
the
interesting.
floor doesn't go underneath, the wall. Mm-hmm. It comes up and it's sealed about 6 inches up.
So you can really clean it thoroughly.
So there's no water or moisture getting behind the walls anymore. So that's...
Which was our problem before.
Correct. So, like I said...
Good planning.
20 years ago, current technology.
Yeah. One interesting piece of technology, and it's not high-tech technology, but it's important as far as the food that you serve to us, is there is a sink area in CB1, a new sink area. I don't know what was there before, but there's a sink area that is strictly used for washing fruits and vegetables.
Well, we have that in all the kitchens.
Okay.
So we use an antimicrobial bacteria wash.
And I could see there were special hoses for that.
Right, it's biodegradable. It basically any piece of produce that comes in here, it's a special machine and the chemicals hooked up to it, and it's USDA, FDA. It's got the blessings.
Everybody approves.
Everybody approves. And all produce that comes in goes into the sink, gets this little wash, cleans off any pathogens, any dirt, anything. Our produce is cleaned when it comes in. This is just another step.
We're just making sure.
Right, and again, and you and I have talked off camera, and we talk about all the extra precautions and safety mechanisms that we put into place to make sure
that we never see.
That and we're putting together some information on that, but that you never see, but just to know that it's in place.
That it's there.
You know, we've talked about how Fairfax County came through, and we were given the approval to be part of the stamp program, which very few operations in this county do. And part of that is down the road, they may use our operation to train health inspectors.
That's pretty exciting.
So,
Michael, they're telling us it's the end.
It's the end.
We've had another fun time.
We have. I appreciate the time.
Thank you for joining us.